unmute your electronic devices, that would be great. And stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Kelly, can I get a roll call from you, please?
Yes. Benton?
Here.
Fagione?
Here.
Lujan? Riskevich?
Here.
Sierra? Stiganga?
Here.
Hotel we know is sick, and Vero.
I'm here, thank you.
5 present, 3 absent.
Alrighty. We have number 1 on our agenda. We have Lawrence Leduc, Commissioner of Valley View Center, Donna Stryker, Director of Finance, joined us as well. We have a request approval to increase salary range for the per diem certified home health aides, $18 to $22 per hour. So legislative request number 42. Can I get a motion and a second on that, please?
So move, Legislator Fagione.
Riskevich, second.
Okay, Paul second. Tom Fagione, motion. Thank you. Lawrence, we're looking at about a $4 increase, comes in to be about 22.2%. We do have the supporting documentation from Donna McCary. Just tell us what's going on there. I guess it's a little hard
Sure.
to
The memo was
people.
the memo was pretty self-explanatory. Just to mention, Tessie Joseph, our Deputy Commissioner of our child, is also she's on the phone, I believe, so she's also participating. You're going to get some breaking news here. You're going to get some news that the Health and Mental Health Committee was going to get tomorrow, but you guys are going to get it first. The child's up and running. We have 3 patients, and we really need to bump up this rate to get these home health aides, to recruit home health aides, because right now, without any home health aides, we can't offer services to all the potential clients that we have. The home health aides do a lot of ADLs, activities of daily living with our patients at home, specifically showering and bathing them. And we're unable to offer any of those services right now because we're having such a difficult time recruiting them due to this low salary. So the other thing I'd like to point out is these hours are only going to be up to 19 hours a week. So it's not a full-time position. It's as needed. It's all incumbent upon how often the nurse or the physical therapist recommends how many hours a week they'll need. The home health aides will be needed for each case. So every case does not need a home health aide, but we are certainly currently missing out on cases that could use home health aides because we don't have any right now. We obviously can't perform those services if we don't have the home health aide to do it.
Commissioner, one question. How many do we have now and how many do we need?
How many home health aides?
Yes.
0.
Ouch.
That's why we're doing this.
Yeah, but how many do you need, you feel?
We probably turned away 2 or 3 cases in the last couple of weeks because we didn't have anybody. So, we'd like to get 2 or 3 people on board at least. They could work a case, a couple of cases a week for us. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. I'd like to open it up to questions and anything else you'd like to ask or find out about from members on the committee.
John, Legislator Lujan joined the meeting.
Okay, very good. Kevin Darian, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My apologies.
That's okay.
Shoot.
Any questions or comments?
I have something, Chairman.
Go right ahead there, Legislator O'Donnell.
All right, thanks. So Lawrence, give us an example of a case that would need a home health aide.
Well, there's people that we discharge home, that we can discharge home with just rehab services. They're able to shower themselves. They can dress themselves. You know, they can bathe themselves. But there's other residents that are going to need those additional services. So the home health aide, you know, traditionally provides the bathing, you know, possibly helping dressing after the bathing and all that sort of stuff. So it's really incumbent upon the home health aide to do that sort of thing. Physical therapists and occupational therapists don't do that
Don't
necessarily.
do that. Oh, okay, so in the past 2 or 3 weeks, we've missed out on helping out 2 or 3 people, you said?
I would say yes.
All right. I know you're gonna not be for the meeting tomorrow, so could you give me an update on the child now?
Sure, yeah. So we have 3 patients.
When did it start running?
2 weeks ago.
Okay,
So we have 3 patients. You know, we're ramping up slowly. We want to make sure we get all the kinks out of all of our procedures. This is, we started this program from scratch. So, so we're up and running. We're good to go. But this is one of the hurdles that we need to overcome is the home health aide piece.
now, how many cases you think home health aide will be involved with CHOP?
I don't know. It's hard to say. It really all depends on the people that we discharge that are going to actually need help with bathing and that sort of service. So it really is, it's hard to say.
All right, so looking forward, like how much money is gonna be in the budget next year for this?
I don't have that information with me right now, but
For the 2021
what, for the
budget.
2021 budget you're talking about? Or I mean,
Well,
22?
how much do we put in this year for it? Because we didn't spend anything, we don't have anybody.
Yeah, we put in less than $1 million, like 700.
I think the total budget was like 750,000 for the CHOP.
No, I'm talking about home health aides, sorry.
Oh, well, they would be included in, you know,
In our personal
all
services.
in our personal services line and contractual line. All these people are going to be contractual. They're not going to be employees.
Right, so they wouldn't be separated out.
I have to go back and
From
look at it.
other-
Donna may be able to give you some of that
from
information
other
tomorrow.
per diems? From other
What's
per
that?
diems, they would, from other per diems, they wouldn't be separated out in the.
Yeah,
budget?
we only have 2 full-time employees for the CHOP. Everybody
Right.
else is contractual. So whatever we budgeted for
Okay.
that contractual line, if that makes sense.
All right, so if you can give Donna some of that information for tomorrow, that's fine.
Okay,
How many you think you're gonna be needing, right? And
All
how
right,
much
yeah.
money you think you're gonna put in the budget? All right.
yep.
Thanks, Chairman, appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
Mhm.
Thanks,
Commissioner,
Chairman.
I've got one question for you. When we send these people, the home health aides, to the homes, I have to wonder, is there any requirement that we can make sure that these people are already vaccinated? Or do we not even have the right to require that they be vaccinated before they go into these homes?
Orange County has chosen not to make their employees vaccinated, so we certainly can't make a consultant or a contractor. We can't make that mandatory on their end.
Because I'm just looking at that as a safety, kind of makes sense feature. I understand, there's some issues with rights and the CSEA has been somewhat vocal about that too, but my feelings there on the side of caution, if you're sending our workers into homes, you'd almost want to be sure that they are vaccinated, they wouldn't be carriers.
I can tell you, if we hire somebody that hasn't been vaccinated, we will certainly offer them the vaccine, and we continue to work with the Orange County Department of Health on current Valley View employees and contractors that haven't been vaccinated, that want to get vaccinated, and we've been able to sign them up very quickly. So we would do the same for home health aides if we were able to get somebody in.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions from legislators on the committee or even legislators not on the committee? I don't see any hands raised unless I'm missing somebody. In that case, I'd like to call a question. All in favor of increasing the salary from 18 to 22 per hour, please say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you for your consideration.
Donna,
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much and good luck.
All right, thanks.
Something we need to offer, there's no doubt.
Yep.
And number 2 on our agenda, I know we have Under Sheriff Jones with us. I don't know if we have Carl DuBois, the sheriff, or not with us. We have a request to abolish positions of deputy sheriff and captain currently funded at $144,978 salary, $51,914 personal services and benefits for a total of $196,892, and create deputy sheriff and lieutenant position to be funded at $85,900 salary, $41,730 estimated personal services and benefits for a total of $127,630. Estimated savings of $69,262 for the remainder of this year, 2021. In 2022, salary, personal services, and benefits will be funded for an entire year, estimated at $191,764. So legislative request number 034. Can I get a motion and a second on this one?
So moved, legislator Faggi.
Second, Stiganga.
Tom and Kathy, thank you very much. Under Sheriff,
Yes.
enlighten us.
Well, first of all, you have just one slight spelling error there. We don't have a positions of captain. There's just one. So we'd abolish one position.
Okay,
So as you all know, we have been through a process of internal review as well as external review. And so one of the things internally that we discovered was that we needed more direct hands supervision. And what we identified in the captain's position, it was often duplicative of what the chief was already doing. And so this being the budget process that we're in, we didn't want to propose a new position as opposed to a trade of a position that we already have for a different position. And we feel that this would give us greater day-to-day control of the workforce, as well as make the chief more ingrained in the day-to-day operations of the workforce rather than have a captain in between the chief and the lieutenants. Going forward, it opens up for greater competition for the chief position because traditionally there's been a captain and you could have lieutenants and captains take a task, but if ultimately a lieutenant is selected for chief, they would be leaping over someone had been their superior prior to that. And we don't look at that as a favorable outcome for operations in the event that occurred. Having a fourth lieutenant spot, you have significant competition for that position because we have 11 sergeants. So we looked at it from immediate effects and long-term effects. And ultimately, we decided that this was the best move for our agency at this time. We also didn't propose to defund the captain position because over the years, we've heard from every committee that we go in front of that when you defund a position, that's sort of it's perceived by the legislature as sort of a backdoor way of obtaining a position and then refunding it later. So we want to make clear that it was our intent to abolish the captain position and not simply create another lieutenant position.
now, right now, we have 4 captains, and this would be putting us down to 3 captain positions?
Currently, there's only 1 captain position on the deputy side. There's 3 on the correction side, which is something entirely different.
Yes, okay. Okay, thank you. I'd like to open it up to questions from legislators on the committee. Kathy Stiganga, I see your hand raised. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Under Sheriff, can you please explain the salary? I'm a little confused because it says you're going from 144 with $51,000 in personal services for a total of 196.
Yeah.
And then it shows that we're dropping this position down to $85,000 with 41,000 for the benefits for a total right now of 127. But it says that next year that position will be funded at 191. So
Yes,
is
because
there going to
it's-
be an increase in that position come January?
No, what it is it's projected for the rest of this year from the day of appointment, which we're suggesting would be May 1st. And then you would fund that lieutenant position for the rest of the year. You wouldn't fund it for the whole year. And the reason it's so close to the captain position is, when you do the budget, it's funded for the individuals that are in that position. And so the individual that vacated that position was taking a buyout instead of healthcare. So
Okay, so
the
the
captain's
actual position in January will be roughly $191,000.
That is what a lieutenant's
for the
position is
full year.
funded at for budget, but we have a pro rata share for this year since the appointee would only serve for 7 months instead of the whole year.
Okay, thank you.
Chairman Brush, I see your hand raised. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, when we did this restructuring in the corrections side, I bought it, when we got rid of the majors position, and I bought the rationale then, but I don't know that I buy the rationale today. And I personally, I just think we ought to investigate this a little further. I mean, we're going to abolish the only captain's position that we have basically on the civil side. That's a civil service position. I guess we have what's tantamount to a captain over there now that's internal affairs or whatever, that's an appointed position. But, I think we should look at what the overtime comes with the lieutenant's positions and analyze that a little bit before we rush to pass this. And I can understand some of the undersheriff's rationale, but I've been with them on a lot of this stuff over the years. The management restructuring with the large increases or increments in salaries. But I'm not sold on this one yet, and I just don't think we should rush into it. That's my opinion. You have one civil service captain's position, and then you're going to abolish that, a position that's been there for years. And it always worked over the years when advancement came to the chief's position, and now all of a sudden it's not working. So I have a lot of hesitation here, and I hope others do too.
Well, I would say two things to that is, one, neither the lieutenant or captain's overtime is significant, nor has it been significant for a better part of 10 years. And the whole purpose of police reform and reinvention was to look at how you do your business and to design it for the future. And, the acceptance that, well, it's always kind of been this way is exactly why we looked at all of our operations.
Yeah, and that, I'm not one to always say that this is the way we've always done it, but it has been something that's worked in the past. And I just think that it just doesn't smell good to me. It really doesn't.
Well, how so? I'm missing why it doesn't smell.
I just don't know why you're doing it, Kenny. I really don't.
Well, because for lieutenants, when we looked at the work that the lieutenants and captains did, we reached a conclusion that a fourth lieutenant would be much more effective in the distribution of work, and that they would all report to the chief. And so the chief would be able to oversee on a day-to-day basis the lieutenants, where you had a captain in between the chief and the lieutenants prior to that. And it led to issues over the last, 7 or 8 years with the last two captains. And so this gives more direct control to the chief, who is the person that's answerable for the sheriff's side. The captain is not. And so to empower someone, for lack of a better word, that's like an assistant chief, when you really don't need one, you really need the day-to-day oversight of the manpower itself.
Legislator Stiganga, is your hand up again?
Yes, it is. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Go right ahead.
Undersheriff, could you please tell me what the open amount for like the lieutenants, the lieutenants who are currently in their positions, what is their average salaries?
Well, they would be
It doesn't seem like
budgeted
there's a
at,
big spread there.
well, they're budgeted at 191,764, which anticipates family coverage for their salary and benefits.
Okay, so there's only a roughly $5,000 difference between what the captain would be versus a lieutenant?
No, like I said, when you do position budgeting, the last incumbent had a buyout for healthcare, where it would generally be $25,000 more. It wouldn't be 196,892 for a captain, generally, because you budget for the family plan in an open position. In this particular one, because you had an incumbent, you were budgeting for the actual expense.
Okay, thank you.
So under sheriff, I'm doing my math backwards. If we're at 191 for lieutenant, back out about 25K for the benefit package, we're at about $1.66. Is that correct for salary?
Yeah, if you look at the benefit package of the captain that's there for the full year, 51,914, personal services and benefits, then, you know, a lieutenant would be a percentage lower than that, about 5% low.
Then that makes me, I'm not sure of the numbers there, but as far as the sheriff's position, I remember it has to have a gap of about 3% more than the next highest paid employee.
Correct.
Does that put him in jeopardy of not being over 3%?
It might, yes.
Which would mean an automatic increase for the sheriff then.
No, perhaps result in lack of a raise in the last year. Depends how the HR interprets it.
Yeah. That could be an issue right in itself there.
Yeah, why don't we hear from personnel on that, Chairman? Because that was what we were told, that the sheriff and the undersheriff and so on down the line always had to be 3% above. That's what we voted on when we voted on the change way back when. So we should hear from personnel on the ramifications of that.
Yeah, I can't remember what the sheriff's salary is right now. I thought it was right around $1.60, wasn't it?
Yeah, but if everybody remembers that voted on that, the selling point was that we don't really want the sheriff making less than the subordinates, or the rank and file, should I say. That's
Correct.
why we voted on it. And there was good logic to it back then. But now, you're getting away from that logic a little bit. So, or you're just going to start, it's going to be a trickle up kind of to escalation. So maybe we should hear from Commissioner Gross on that. Because there were legislators that didn't vote for that when we passed it way back when.
Commissioner Gross, I see you're here. We'll put you on the firing line too now.
Look, we're happy to look into all those issues. We, wanted to support the sheriff's office, obviously, with this request as it came in. As far as civil service positions are concerned, they're all competitive civil service titles. They're all going to require a competitive examination. With respect to the setting of the salary, I'm not sure that taking a salary out of the middle of the ranks is going to impact the next rank up. But we need to look at all the numbers and see how they translate with respect to that. From my standpoint, there's no rush to do this today. We can look at this information for you.
I didn't hear you on the last part. You faded out a little bit for me.
Yeah.
I said we're happy to get you more detailed information and put it together for you.
Okay, thank you. That may be the way to go on this one.
So Chairman, can I ask a question, please?
Did I get a motion from anybody about tabling this for the next, I need some more information?
Luhan, so moved.
I'll second that, Chairman.
Okay, Kevin Daring, motion, Kathy Stiganga, second. All in favor of pushing it off for a month, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
in favor of not pushing it off for a month,
Aye.
say nay. Well, the first motion carries unanimously. I guess we're gonna do a little more investigation at this point. Make sure we're not over our boundaries or anything else. We'll gather some more information in the May meeting, the April meeting.
Can I
Okay.
make can I make a
Any
comment,
last
Chairman?
comments on that? Legislator O'Donnell, is that you?
Yeah, I'm having trouble raising my hand on my computer, sorry. So, under sheriff, so eliminating the captain supervises the 3 current lieutenants, is that correct?
Correct.
Correct. And then you'll end up, and those 3 lieutenants, who do they supervise?
11 sergeants.
Right, so you'll end up with an extra layer of supervision for the sergeants, correct?
Correct.
Right, and I'm assuming the captain works Monday to Friday days,
Correct.
right? And you with the 4th lieutenant be able to spread out the supervision for the sergeants over a greater period of time?
Correct.
Right, so it is a few things that when you come back next month, you know, explain in more detail how it helps your supervision of subordinates. And the captain, it looks like to me anyway, was an extra layer that isn't necessary, and the chief is gonna be able to handle that. And as far as the money goes, I think it's a savings. You know, people are gonna be grandfathered in that already have the 3%. But if you eliminate, that's the only captain position, and there's a 3%. I'm sure Mr. Gross will come back next month and explain it. But to me, that's like a savings going forward. That's what
Well,
I
you,
see.
you still retain the captains in the SOA agreement because it's
So
the
they're
captain.
the same as the other side
They are. All
In the-
captains,
in-
all
in the-
commission officers are paid the same.
in the 3% for you guys.
Correct.
All right, so it's not gonna make any difference. All right. Thanks. Thanks, Chairman.
I think one of the things we need to investigate is that differential between the top lieutenants and the sheriff's salary as well. We'll have answers for that for next month.
Yeah, that's going to be, and I think that'll be unaffected because it was compared to SOA captains. And there are remaining SOA captains.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay, well, that'll be clear at our April meeting, I'm sure. Any other comments, questions, suggestions before we leave?
John, just so you know, Legislator Sierra had joined us.
Okay, welcome, Joel.
How you doing, Chairman? Sorry for being late.
Good.
I got stuck
Okay,
at
so we
the,
ended up with a full slate. Thank you all. Oh, except for Lori, excuse me. In that case, I'd like to get a motion to adjourn.
so moved. Sierra.
Joel and Kathy for the second. Thank you very much. We'll see you all at the April meeting. Stay tuned for Paul's Education and Economic Development meeting. Thank you all.
What Robert's ETA is to pick that.